Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. Vince McSham, and this is the Nation Network. Thanks for joining us. I think it's day two. Day two after the 109 patch, and this is the Fallout. Or more of the Fallout. Welcome aboard, everybody. We got World Championship Gaming in the house along with D-Train in the house. Okay. When last we left our hero, things weren't going well, and they're really still not going well, but they are what they are. Here's what I'll tell you. After, hold on a second here. After I went off yesterday and got really upset, tried to calm down a little bit and rebooted the game, and then went back in to see what I could do in the way of damage control. And then I realized, as I went to re-download some of the created wrestlers I've downloaded in the past, that it wouldn't let me download like the Chris Jericho because I hadn't completed the Rey Mysterio mode, because of course I had to wipe everything out and start from scratch. And I flipped. I was like, there is no way in hell I am replaying that 2-hour bullshit again. Not doing it. And I was legitimately getting ready just to uninstall it for the last time, and I'm just done with 2K22 at that point. Until I looked down at my computer desk and I saw that I still had this. This is a memory stick. And fortunately, on that memory stick was my first save after about week 2.5 to 3. While most of my wrestling roster was not on that, with the exception of maybe 3 to 4, it did have the fact that I completed the Rey Mysterio bullshit. So I had the full game roster intact with Dominic and the rest, and I didn't have to jump through those hoops, and it's been allowing me to download wrestlers again. All I can tell everybody is just save every chance you get, because we all know this game is going to crash. It's going to corrupt files. It's going to screw us every chance it gets. PFW in the house. Corey Andrews is here. Hello there. Mark Goldman. Yeah, and I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about the fact that I had that save there, so God takes care of stupid people sometimes. What can I tell you? So that all said, all I've been doing is re-downloading most of the roster I had before. I'm not going in depth like I did before. Like, some of them only came with one roster or one attire, and I was getting a second one so I could put a second roster, or I keep saying roster, so I could put a separate attire on them, a second attire. And, yeah, I'm not doing that so much anymore. Hold on. Motherfucking people. I wish there was a way when telemarketers send stuff to your phone that you could hit a button and would send, like, I don't know, a couple thousand volts of electricity through to the other end and just zap them and be done with them. Take them off the planet. Four different saves. Well, you know what? And I'm guessing when you say on the PC, that's because you're playing on the PC, Mark? Which I would think it'd probably be a lot easier to make quick saves that way. It's not so simple. I mean, it's not hard to do it on PlayStation, but it's a little more time-consuming, I would think. Not a PC gamer, so I don't know for sure. Well, Lucas, here's the fun fact. The last time it crashed, I thought it took out my external hard drive as well, because it took a long time for that puppy to come back up and play right. And I've never had that problem before, even when, you know, power outage in the area and the PlayStation doesn't shut down the way you're supposed to, and it tells you that, you know, may have damaged this and that, but it never does. This time I was like, it wasn't reading, it wasn't talking to one another, and I'm like, oh shit. I thought it wiped everything out, which would have been beyond 2K22. So it's been a tumultuous couple of days here, to say the least. Thank you, 2K. Bunch of suck asses. I have sent emails to 2K. I've sent emails to the WWE. I have posted nonstop on WWEGame.com or on Twitter. I'm putting video up. I am just going to bash them every way I can until I get my money back. And you can have the game. But like I said, that's the deal. The minute they give me the $120, I'll uninstall the game, whatever they got to do to take the rights away from me with PlayStation. I don't care. I'll give you the game back for the $120 because it is not worth it. I wouldn't pay $20 for it. It's just not worth it. It'll never be worth it. Oh, D-Train. Here's the thing. I have no doubt it's going to, whenever they come out with another one, it's going to suck. It shouldn't be next year. Okay, they've proven they can't handle it. They can't handle it with a 2-year layoff. So, just keep doing what you've been doing. Keep throwing patches down. And all I see are these freaking videos of people saying how much it fixed, it fixed some stuff that never should have been broken at release. We'll start there. That's like when people get their money back at the end of the year from the government. They get their income tax check. Oh my God, I got this much money. I got $500. I got $1,000. Dumbass, it's your money. They have been holding and spending it on your behalf when you could have had it in the bank earning interest or in the stock market earning interest. Don't act like it's a gift. It's not. And the same thing here. We paid for this. You didn't do us a favor by fixing the stuff that should have been working. Don't pat yourselves on the back. And don't anyone else do it either. You have no reason to feel gratified that all of a sudden belts work. They should have worked. You should be pissed that you lost a month of gameplay that you paid for. We got it all twisted. It's like gas is $4.20 a gallon, depending where you're at. And it comes down to $4.09, and everyone's like breathing a sigh of relief. No, it's still $1.50 more than it should be. But that's the same logic here. They're twisting your mind to make you think that, oh, here's 2.0 Arena. And don't think for a minute they didn't always know that was going to happen. They knew that the game wasn't ready, again, because they didn't test it. Clearly, they did not test this game properly. And they know that's where we come in. And we test it, and we give them all the feedback, and we send them all the video clips. And here you go. Good boy, here's your little toy. And they throw the 2.0 roster and the NXT arena at you. And that's supposed to make it all better. Well, at least they gave us that. Not at least nothing. Give us what you advertise on release day, period. And stop settling for less, and stop being happy when they give you less. Of course it's a money grab for them, and they don't even have to grab it. We're throwing it at them. Well, Mark, I'm presuming you're talking about the refund thing, and they did it last year. They did a lot of refunding last year. And PlayStation's next. I'm going to go to them with it, because I know how many complaints they've gotten on this. So wait, Mark, you got the PC version. You're not having that thing that I've seen other people with PC where the game's running like 100 miles an hour? How'd you manage not to have that problem when everybody else seems like they're dealing with that? Yeah, I get the playtime and how long you had the game and all that happy horse shit. The fact of the matter is, yes, I have done all that time, and they wiped it out to 0. They set me right back to day one. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm on day one. It is what, look, at the end of the day, will I get my money back? I don't count on it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to keep petitioning for it. It doesn't mean I'm not going to go and make sure WWE corporate understands that they've lost a customer. I mean, I've already dropped the network again because there's nothing on Peacock worth having. And the network, I can't watch it. It's like anything you watch, it's got commercials in it, except for a live event. In the middle of a friggin' match, they put a commercial in. Not even at the end of the match or anything. In the middle of a match. And my understanding, talking to people that don't, pay for the extra tier where you don't have the commercials, it still has the little pause, but you don't have to wait for the commercial. It's like it pauses out for maybe a second or two and comes right back up. But that's not what I'm paying for. I want to watch the entire event or the entire match uninterrupted. I don't want any pauses. I don't want any breaks, and I sure as hell don't want any commercials. I got enough DVDs here. I can watch all that crap. There's not a whole lot they got that I care about that I don't own. So why am I paying for it? I'm not. So I've been canceling services left, right. Netflix gone, Disney Plus gone, Peacock gone, and there was something else on my list to do, and I don't even remember what it is right now, but it'll come back to me. The only thing I think I'm going to keep is AMC. I love my AMC. Speaking of which, Better Call Saul should be coming back this week, I think. I got to get the date on that. It's real soon. That's just graphic settings? I don't know. All right, well, like I said, I don't do PC gaming, so I don't know any of that. I just know a lot of people had some pretty funny-looking video. The DLC, well, okay, so if the DLC is free, then I need my money back. I'm all in favor of it. Hey, if I'm not going to get a full refund, can I get a partial, all right? Maybe we can compromise in the middle somewhere. Make it feel like you're giving me something legitimate for this bullshit that you put me through, the time and the hours that you made me waste on a game you never tested. Because I can tell you right now, I am not pre-ordering next year. Not a chance. Don't care what the hell pre-order special, and you can only get it if you pre-order. I don't care. Makes no difference to me. There's nothing you can put out there that's going to make me pre-order it. Nothing. So D-Train, the pause is a real thing. Even do you have the commercial-free version? Because that's what I was told. Because I thought about, well, I was paying $9.99 a month anyway before. Why not pay the extra couple of bucks? But I don't watch it that much. Like I said, everything I would ever want, I have on DVD. I was actually watching the Chris Benoit Hard Knocks the other day. You can't watch that on the network. Andrew Roberts. What's up with you, man? Okay, so what were we going to talk about? So I mentioned the fact that I did happen to have a backup from early on, but it was enough to get me through the Rey Mysterio stuff, so I didn't have to replay any of that. Thank you, God. Okay, so you do have the full version of Peacock, and there are pauses, which is what I thought too. And somebody told me that, so now I've heard it from two. And yeah, so I'm not going to pay for that. It's insane that it is what it is. Why am I trying to make sense of the senseless? So what I decided to do is I will go through and rebuild the roster first. Then I will do arenas next. And the logic in that is it's going to keep all the logos kind of in an area together. So that as I maybe have to delete something or whatever the case may be, I'll have an idea of how to quickly get to whatever logos I'm looking for. And we're going to go to Edit Customs because I still have a whole bunch of them that don't have renders. That, I guess, had renders originally when they were uploaded. Therefore, it's got the little shadow. Not much. Andrew, what's up with you, buddy? Yeah, it would definitely be worse with commercials. It's just, I can't. I mean, it's bad enough, and I know why they had to, but that they've taken out a lot of the intros so far as dubbing over bad music and things like that. That's bad enough. But again, we know why they had to do that. But to add the pauses and stuff like that in the middle of a match, that's the thing. I could even deal with it if it's at the end of a match, and then you can throw a commercial break in. But what the hell was I watching the other day? WrestleMania 30. Which ended up, I didn't have, that was the first WrestleMania I didn't buy on DVD. And I haven't bought any since, because I had the WWE Network before it went to Peacock. And I ended up getting 30 just so I'd have 1 through 30 all on DVD collection. But trying to watch it on Peacock, I think they were in the middle of the opening segment with Rock and Stone Cold and Hogan. And they took a commercial break right in the middle of it. And I was like, what? You've got to be shitting me. Juan Cordero, what's up with you, buddy? World Championship Gaming. Man, what a... You talk about hitting the nail on the head. 2K19 is a superior game to 20 and 22. Hands down, in any way you want to talk. All right, graphically, 22's got the graphic advantage. That's it. Gameplay, sim play, the creation mode is very, very strong. A lot of those calls look amazing. The blood factor, it works properly. It looks like a wrestling blood match, and then as it gets worse and worse, you can actually get it sprayed out onto the chest. I mean, that is done right. And it's hard to believe it's the same company going backwards over 3 years. When you've achieved greatness, how do you take steps back like this? I don't know. DTA, welcome aboard, first of all. And yes, I totally get it. There are a lot of people making excuses. I saw one guy, well, that's what happens when you download sketchy calls. Nice try, okay? Anything, and the only person really, for the most part, let's put it this way, on mine, the only person I've downloaded from is, and there are imposters out there, so I know I got the right guy, is what's the status, okay? And he has received permission from 2K for anything he has posted. So whatever he has found in files and things like that from MyRise, he's had permission to post all that stuff. It's not modded. It's not hacked as such. They're just files of characters and skins. So that is not the cause of the issue. Just like that had nothing to do with people not being able to get the belts to work. Not the issue. The issue is the system. It is the game. It is the developers not having their product ready for release date again. So with any luck, they're going to realize they cannot release on a yearly basis. Just keep patching it till you get it right, if you ever do. You do need to come up with a new version eventually, simply because this idea of grappling every time to do any offensive move other than a strike is a joke. There's so many things they took away that made the game, that made 2K19 what it was and make this thing what it is. And graphics only go so far, guys. The Beast Incarnate to what? Meat Made Monsters? What the hell is that? Okay. Apparently Germany has a different translation. Hey there, William. Welcome aboard. And yeah, so you pay the $9.99 that you were paying anyway for the network, okay, to get the premium. But you don't have the commercial, but you still have that little pause, however you want to call it, that little fade to black and fades right back in. The only difference is you didn't have to wait 30, 60, or 90 seconds for that to happen. But imagine you're in the middle of a match and all of a sudden it kind of fades out and it comes back up. It's very distracting. They can make it even more entertaining. Do it right in the middle of a 3 count. They'd be like 1, 2, and it fades out. And you're waiting. It comes back up. I don't know, man. It's Larry, I got Fire Pro. I'm not a fan. I was years ago. I don't know why I can't get back into it, and I tried. I bought the deluxe edition of that thing, too. And it didn't do well on the channel, either. There just wasn't an audience for it. I know they have their own audience, and there's a core group of fans, and I used to be one of them back when it was on the PS2, I think it was back then. I loved simming those matches, and I tried streaming those too, and it never caught on. I'm just not a fan of it as much as I thought I would be. I mean, the reincarnation they came out with didn't hold up to the memories that I had of the PS2. Wrong. El Ordinario is considered the possibility that he may be the distant cousin of El Generico. Nobody's proven it yet. I think he already had his wrong. I think he already had his model showing, but just to be on the safe side. And I'm not changing the crowd signs and stuff like that out again like I did earlier. It's just more of a headache than it's worth. And I just don't trust it. I think the game's going to crash again and it's going to delete my file again. And boom! Oh, you motherfuckers. Well, that didn't take long now, did it? That's why this is called the Fallout. Big JH, I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing? Hope you're feeling well. Just go in the house as well. Welcome aboard. Yeah, but D-Train, I used to love watching Fire Pro. I would sim matches all the time. I preferred simming them than playing them personally. I just couldn't get back into it again, though. I tried and I tried and I tried, and it just didn't hold that same attention, I guess. Sup, not my bank account. It is compared to somebody else's, that's for sure. All right, so is it going to do this every time? Anybody want to place bets? Let's place a bets. Hold on a minute. All right, there we go. We're going to try and do the El Generico thing again. You tell me, do you think it's going to crash automatically one more time? Or was that just a fluke? You know my answer. Let's get a bunch of votes in on this one just so it'll be more. Oh, wow, we got a 50-50. I didn't think anybody was going to click on no. All right, let's go this route. Let's see what Vegas says. I thought these all had faces already. Huh. How did I get skipped down there so far then? I don't know. But we're going to do this again. Okay, the poll will close when I get ready to submit it. So, do you think this thing's going to crash every time I try to make these little simple changes? Just color changes. That's it. Nothing else. Not removing masks or anything. Class action. 2 words. Class action. They need to be sued big time. Yeah, it looks better, I think. All right, let's see what we got so far. 10 people voting. We got 70%. That's 7 out of 10 if we're doing the math. That say it's going to crash. I'm not going to change anything except the color. All right. Put your pencils down, boys and girls. Voting has completed. 70% say it's about to crash. If I had a drum roll ready to go, I'd be using it. But here we go. Do it. Do it. Three, two, boom! So, you can't edit that. Let's try some other cause and see if it's all cause. If it is, I'm done. I just can't. I just can't. Now, that's one from My Rise. Okay, I'll give you that. But it worked before. I was able to make those changes to him before without a problem. Those of you that gave credit to 2K that was a one-off, shame on you. Have you learned nothing in the last 4 weeks? Yakuza series, welcome aboard. Your controller? I don't know that the game can mess with your controller. Of course, maybe it got the virus from the other part of the game. Maybe the game sneezed on it. It got the 2K virus. Transmitting it to controllers now. Yeah, that's the first I've heard about a controller issue. All right. I'll delete that later after I find out if it's a My Rise only thing. It's unfortunate. I kind of liked having him in there for ROH. By the way, I am still working on the store. Every time I was getting ready, I was going to do that the last 2 days, really. But then the patch came out, and then all this drama came out, and it's just drawn my attention. But I've never wanted to get those 2K t-shirts out more than I do right now, boy. Let's go, and I thought I already. No, let's go to Adam Pearce here, and we're gonna tweak him just a smidge, enough to make a difference. Region. That's it. Well. I actually thought that was from My Rise. Turns out it's not. How do I feel about the Forbidden Door pay-per-view? Well, here's my problem. I'm not a New Japan follower. Therefore, I don't know their product. I don't have any interest in their roster. And while that might not stop me from even maybe getting the pay-per-view, I mean, it is one of those rare things where you do have two promotions coming together, which I think is a brilliant idea. I don't know why Impact and AEW didn't do that. Personally, I think that would have been a better one to do it with. It'll depend on the build, and it'll also depend on what the matches are. I do kind of want to see CM Punk going up against Cowboy shit, which I would imagine will be on that card, probably headlining. Because I'm not 100% sure that CM Punk does or doesn't win that match. I would hope. I feel like he has to, because I think they really want his name on their lineage. And why wouldn't you? I should have placed bets on this one too. Let's see. I feel like we're doing all right this time. So it may be just any of the My Rise stuff. I'm not going to count my chickens or anything, but by now it crashed already on the other one. Yeah, well, if they're not going to do CM Punk in the main event, then I highly doubt that I would want to pay for it. Tragedy Dark, good evening to you. Punk versus Kenta. Yeah. Wouldn't make me pay $50, I can tell you that right now. We'll see what the card comes out as. You know, with their current situation with Adam Page as the world champion, that doesn't put, you know, make me reach in my wallet to pull out money. So he has to be going up against somebody then that I really want to see win the title. And as it is, I sit there and I wonder to myself, how many of these guys that they brought in that should have their name on the title, that I'm sure they're going to want to have, like, all right, let's assume CM Punk gets it. Let's say he's the next champion in line. And I think there's a pretty reasonable chance and expectation of that. You brought him back out of 7 years and all that, and he's been doing nothing but helping your promotion. I feel like you'd want to do that. I would want his name on my belt, I can tell you that right now. But I'd also want Daniel Bryan's name on the belt. And at some point in time, you got to ask yourself, okay, when have I reached that number where I can't, you know, I'm running out of time because they're not young guys anymore. And the older they get, the less believable it is. Although that never stopped nobody before, David Arquette. I guess my biggest fear, no. would be that they run out of time on some of these guys that they would want to have as part of their lineage. So let's say Punk takes the title, then Daniel Bryan could easily be next in line after that, especially now that he's kind of in a heel faction, even though they're all being cheered right now. And here's the thing, and I posted this earlier on Twitter. Here's why AEW succeeds where WWE never will. Their last two programs, what have we seen? We've seen CM Punk against Dustin Rhodes. Now we're talking about seeing CM Punk against Adam Page. And then, what was the other match? Oh, they booked the match, I guess, for the Owen Hart between Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. And the fans love these matches. You don't have to have a babyface going up against a heel, and that's all the WWE is going to give you. That is all they're going to give you. Whereas the AEW approaches it more in a sport-like manner, just like UFC. How many times do friends have to fight in the cage? And when it's all over, they shake hands, they hug, and hey, the better man won. We saw that with CM Punk and Dustin. And that's why they're better. Yeah, D-Train, that is a great match. I have no doubt we'll see that match. I think that's a match that is very likely to get booked in the probably not too distant future. CM Punk is great at anything he does. Jusco, he's good at anything he does. But at this point in his career, I think babyface is the way to go. I mean, he's down to his last year or so. He's not going to be wrestling for another 5 years. He could, but I don't see him doing it. He came back to scratch an itch. He's had a great time with it, but I think he's got a timeline in his head that, this is not something he's going to do for a long period at this point. And again, sat out 7 years, and he's already talked about how much it hurts now when you haven't been doing it day in and day out. And in the AEW, you're never going to be doing it day in and day out because they have so much talent and there's so much downtime between matches. That's a good and a bad thing. Holy shit. What did Sting do the other night? I mean, I love the guy, but, dude, you're old enough where you don't need to be doing that balcony dive bullshit. I could not believe my eyes. I saw him going up, and I was like, oh, he's not. I mean, at least he didn't try something stupid like a senton, but I just couldn't believe it. Brozimo, welcome aboard. So far, buddy, it's only crashed, not just doing a call, but a specific call. So, if you're not familiar with it, I'm sure you probably are. In particular, What's the Status, which is a user who's a PC guy and that might be part of it as well, because then you have a PC thing going over to the console. Anyway, he's been able to get certain characters from, let's say, MyRise and put them into the game where we can, or into the community creation where we can all download it. And he did it with permission from 2K. Okay, so it wasn't like he just hacked something, threw it out there. He told them what he's going to do. Is it okay if I do it? They said, sure, go for it. And there's also been a lot of talk that they are going to themselves release the MyRise characters and perhaps add them to the existing roster at some point. So there's talk. There's nobody. They haven't said they're doing it, but there's been some rumblings. And after releasing the NXT 2.0 arena, definitely doable. And they got to throw bones at the fans any way they can right now because it sure isn't with the product. So anyway, when I was editing one of those characters, it would crash every time. But now I've edited some regular created wrestlers, and I have not had that problem. So, I'm going to say it has something to do with anything that's been brought in from the MyRise that's not really... It's part of the game, but it's not part of the game. And if you want to just bring it in and use it as is, then you're fine. But they all come in with, like, white clothing with no color tones to them. And I've got one more in my roster that I'm going to do something with that in a minute. Then see if it also crashes the game, in which case we'll definitely know 100% that's the issue. Juan, if you didn't watch, Sting came off the balcony and did a flying body press on 3 guys down on the floor. So he's 60 years old, man. You don't need to be doing that shit. I mean, I'm happy you're back in the ring after what Seth Rollins did to you, but let's not push the limits on any further than that. I mean, he's playing with borrowed time right now. He's playing with the house money, as they say. Yeah, tragedy. I am sure he is feeling the pain. But then again, he won't wrestle for another week probably. And the smartest thing they've done is they put him in all tag team matches. For the most part. I was watching a video, which had to be recent, I don't know how recent, of Ric Flair with Jay Lethal just in a closed-off gym somewhere with a wrestling ring in it. And Flair was wrestling Jay Lethal. I mean, he's wrestling at a 72-year-old pace. But he took a hip toss. He took the softest body slam in the history of time. But he went through all the motions, the chops, the elbow, and the woo, and the whole thing. And I'm like, dadgummit, he could get in the ring for one match only. I don't know that he could carry it off himself necessarily, and it would have to be pretty short if he did. But, hard to say. I mean, look, at this point in time, there's no need for that. It won't end well. It didn't end all that well at WrestleMania 24, and then it didn't end, so that would have been a better way to end it, though. Well, again, I'm not having issues editing Cause with the exception of that one, and the only thing that makes that different than the rest is that it was taken off of a PC edition from MyRise. So it's not like he created it from scratch or anything like that. Now, I understand they now have all of the hairstyles from the superstars in the game as well, with all those additional hairstyles and the facial hairs, which means technically I should be able to make an El Generico or El Ordinario pretty damn accurate. First off, the attire is simple enough. That's no hard deal there. So I might do that, because I do like El Ordinario. I think it's a fun character. Like I said, all the other ones are working fine. I still have a bunch left to download, and I'll probably do those separately off stream. But as I said, we're going through this together here, trying to figure our way through the fallout of patch 1.09. I feel like I have to represent the other side, because I see so many YouTubers just, oh, it did this, and it fixed that, and it's so much better, and it's this, and it's that, and maybe for you, but not for the rest of us. Why do I have two Chris Jerichos? Maybe he had a second attire I liked? Let's go see. But you're going to see Great Khali wrestle again, only now they have a different name for him. It's called Omos. Is this the same? Yeah, it's the same Jericho. How did I get two of them? Oh, because the first one was on my save file already, and I guess I probably forgot I had it. This doesn't have a second attire. No, same one. All right, well, we'll delete this one. Right, and I get that, but at the same point in time, understand there are a lot of people that have never played online. I have zero intention of ever playing online. I've never done it before. Not my thing. I could care less about it. I absolutely have no interest in factions. So if they fixed anything with factions, won't affect me. All I'm saying is if you're going to, like, I've given credit where credit is due. I've said that they fixed the belts, okay, that the belts now work, and there might have been the chairs. You can now actually take a chair shot on somebody, and they don't block it every time or hit you before you can even swing the chair. So they've made improvements on the game. I'm not taking that away from them. I did end up getting that Jake Hager, and I'll probably use him instead of one of the other guys, one of the other sidekicks from the Jericho Appreciation Society. I guess I should be looking at the names more, because the faces aren't matching up because they haven't been brought in yet. So let me make sure Bobby Fish is Bobby Fish and all that kind of good stuff. Brian Cage, Brody King, Cash, Stanley. And like, that doesn't look like Deonna Purrazzo to me. Maybe around the mustache a little, I'm not sure. Just kidding. Thank you, Tragedy. Well, having our little psych sessions over here helps me as well. This Purrazzo really came out looking good. Like I said, you can only get it so accurate because you don't have the same levels of control that you've had in the prior games, but I'm just really digging that. What I have decided is that, and one of the things that apparently they changed is these images now will fit better than they did prior. I don't know. I wasn't really using them, so. But one of the things I've decided is that once I'm done putting my roster together and putting the arenas up and all that good stuff, if there's enough space left over in the logos, then I might grab some renders for at least a handful of them. Wrestling Purist, I'm doing great, buddy. How are you doing? Yeah, Jesco, I mean, they used to always have, like, Cole Quinn and Blade in the game, Baron Blade, El Mago Jr., they were always part of the roster, which is what makes me think they're going to do that. And they probably should. I mean, there's no reason not to that I can come up with. I mean, maybe there is, and I just don't know the technology of it, but I don't know. Seems like low-lying fruit to me that you could take care of and appease some people. At this point, anything they can do positive, they should be doing. Because God knows they've done enough negative. Wonder why some of them come up like that with the ghost image, and some of them just have a totally different claw image there than what actually is. And I remind everybody you are listening to Blaze Radio. Blaze in the house. Shaking off a hangover or what, man? How'd it go? For those of you who don't know, Blaze was at the AEW show last night in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Britsburg. I'm getting her shirt, by the way. I love that new Britsburg shirt. That's badass. The only sport that I even claim anymore at all is hockey, which my Islanders are not much to watch this year at all. Very disappointing year. But as a diehard Islander fan, I've always liked and respected Pittsburgh. Partly because they laid down for us so we could win a couple of Stanley Cups. But even after that, they just kept rebuilding the Penguins every year. And they would just keep rebuilding another Stanley Cup contender. And then you lose Mario Lemieux. Well, that's going to be it for a while. No, they go right back and do it again without him. And then they bring him back and do it again. Dude, I know how you feel, man. When they were here in Orlando, yeah, I mean, you got the dark and then you got the show, and it's a long day. I'm sure you're like me, man. Back in the day when you'd go to the WWF tapings for TV, and it would start at like 7 at night and end at 1 in the friggin' morning as they taped a month's worth of programming. It started at 12 a.m. What? What? Oh, it was via internet. Wow, that's interesting. I thought you meant you left wrestling and went to a wedding somewhere. I was like, who the hell's getting married? I mean, I know a lot of people now get married on, like, Fridays, Thursdays, and Wednesdays because it's so much cheaper to get a church than on Friday, Saturday, or Sundays. But I never heard nobody doing it at midnight. Jade, Hook, Jake. Okay, those are all accurate. Yeah, Sid the Kid. How's he doing? I haven't watched any hockey this year at all. I mean, the Islanders just turned me off so quickly this year. You get a brand new arena, which I didn't want. I wanted them to stay in the Nassau Coliseum. That's their home. That's where they belong. That's where the Ghosts live. Speaking of Ghosts, we've added Mike Bossy to that list in the last week, which is kind of sad. For those of you that don't know, Mike Bossy, had he had a longer career, he had some back issues that cut his career short. He would have given Wayne Gretzky a run for his money in a lot of categories. But he was one of the few guys that can say they scored 50 goals in 50 games, and he scored his 50th goal in the 50th game, but he was going into that game with only 47 goals. So he had to have a hat trick, and he did it, and the last goal came with maybe a couple minutes or less left in the game. And you would think everybody on the other team knows Bossy's going to shoot, Bossy's going to shoot, and they still couldn't stop him from getting the puck and putting it in the back of the net. Mike Bossy was a legend on Long Island, and without him, we don't win 4 Stanley Cups in the 80s. No doubt about it. Yeah, I totally gave up on the NBA and the NFL. I can't. Anyone who goes on strike, and I know the NHL did too, but I played for 20-plus years, so it's just kind of in my DNA a little bit. But anyone who goes on strike because you're not making enough money when people are losing their jobs, they've lost their homes, they're in foreclosure, you got people being bombed by Russia, and you think that $3-4 million to play a game ain't enough, you don't need my money. You need an education is what you need. I really wish fans would buck up, and they won't. They've shown they are drones. It is what it is. If every fan, even if 70% of fans would do what I've done and just walk away for 1 year, just 1 year, 12 months of your life, do not watch a sporting event, not on TV, not in live in an arena or stadium or anything like that. For 12 months, every one of those salaries becomes more like a lawyer. They go down to making maybe a couple. I mean, you'll get your endorsement deals, and I have no problem with that. If you can sell Nike sneakers and you get paid for it, then go for it. I'm fine with that. I'm talking about ticket prices that we as fans are supposed to foot the bill for because you think you're worth $15-20 million to play a game. You're not. Nobody is. We have doctors trying to save people's lives that don't make that money, so damn sure you don't make it. But people just can't do it for whatever reason. I mean, with the NFL and the other leagues for that matter, but the NFL was the one that led the way, kneeling for the national anthem. If that is not going, all these people that were burning their jerseys, all these people that were burning their season tickets, well, somebody either went and bought them again or somebody just said, oh, I'll take those and bought them away. But they're still filling those seats. Now, if you're not going to turn your back on them for that, then I don't know. It's just... And again, this is just where I'm coming from with sports and why I don't have anything to do with them anymore. I used to be a WNBA fan. I coached girls basketball for years. And watching how some of those bitches have reacted, it's like, y'all barely have a league. How do you want to spit in people's faces? You're alienating a big part. Well, maybe not such a big part because... a lot of their fan base is just definitely going to come from that LGBTQ RSTUV generation there. So maybe that is the deal. That's why they got away with it. But, yeah. I mean, I gave up on them years ago anyway. It's just not the product it used to be. How are the Pens doing, though? Are they like in the... I guess the Stanley Cup is a little bit late this year because of, what, the Olympics? It's like the NBA playoffs are already starting, which normally means that we'd be in our second week. Usually a week staggered behind them. But then I see that looks like the tables have turned just a little bit on that. By the way, this Jay Lethal by Override is just amazing. If you guys haven't seen this thing, wow. Once again, this Monday, 12 noon is the plan. Hoping to have it all ready to go, and it will be the return of Inside the Creator Studio with one of our top creators in community creation. Can almost guarantee that you will have some of the creations that this individual has made. What's the height on him? See, is he really 5'5"? Holy shit. I gotta make him a little taller than that because it's just not believable at all. We'll go there. How's that? Because he's not the tallest guy in the world, but he's pretty thick. And like in this one, he's not really thick either. Let me see something here. Body type. What do we got? Well, we got him at medium. He does have those ridiculous traps. We'll go with this. I'll put him in a couple matches, see how he looks. Michael Williams. So what you missed is that after the stream, I went to start downloading some of the calls that I had, and it wouldn't let me because after having to delete everything and start from scratch, in order to download one of them in particular, I had to complete the Rey Mysterio run again, which I've already done that and I'm not doing it again. It wasn't that much fun. So at that point I was done. And then I realized I have a thumb drive that has a save file from about 3 weeks into the game. And I pop it in, and sure as hell, it had enough on it. It didn't have many of my characters or my calls, but it did have the fact that I already completed Rey Mysterio, and it gave me the full roster for the WWE game. And now I am just kind of going around and doing the best I can with what I got otherwise. I think I already did this, but to be safe. So I think that looks more like him because he's not tall, but he's thick as a tree. And for him to be believable, he'd have to be. I've seen a lot of people make Gresham kind of on the skinny small side, and that's not the combination that you want to go with. He's got kind of got the Ivan Putski thing going on. What's that old saying? Built like a brick shit house. One of the other things, Michael, that we have, and I know you got something you wanted to talk about, so go ahead and let me know what's going on there. And if you're on the PlayStation Network, we can actually chat. Just let me know. We can throw you up here on the stream. Oh, I hate showcases. Hate them. I can't think of one that I enjoyed. Maybe there was one, but I don't, for the life of me, I don't know what it is. Trent Beretta, huh? Maybe that's just the AI saying, we don't want this asshole in our roster. All right, so there's Gresham, Jungle Boy, Kenny O, Did I think I brought in the extra tire. If not, we'll do it right now. It was getting late last night. I was practically falling asleep at the controller. Let's see, a tire. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so we'll do that. Copy and paste that. Let me see what jacket this is. Okay, it's right next to what's his name's. Okay. And again, this is one of the few features that I really think was a huge asset to this game. Because a lot of times you might find a car that it doesn't look as good as the one you want to use, but it might have a really good attire. Shit. They flipped them on me now. Let's see if I'm right. Did I miss it? Oh, there we go. Ew. Those are the ones I don't like. Let's see if this is it. There we go. Copy that over and pop it over there. So while I'm going to get rid of that other Kenny, this one, it had an attire that would have made a nice second attire for this one. And I wasn't a fan of the ponytail anyway, so win-win. Material. Let's go. Let me see what this ends up looking like. Yeah, I like that. And this is something I showed on one of the previous streams, but in case you missed it, this is my new go-to thing when it comes to leather jackets in particular. You can use it on other stuff, especially championship belts. But let's go here to custom images. And I'm going to imagine there has got to be a morning after. No, let me check this real quick because there's a shorter list and it'll be saving time if it turns out to be here. But we're looking for something that says Team Elite, All Elite, anything from the Young Bucks, pretty much. And there's some Young Bucks stuff, so I might be in the right place. Let's see. Or Adam Cole, for that matter. But I'm looking for something with the Elite. Let's see if we've got it. Baby. Nothing so far, huh? Well, it only saves you time if you guess right. Oh, that's all right, Michael. We'll do it some other time. But what was your issue? You were asking something earlier on. Yeah, D-Train, feel free, man. Let me know when you're ready. Seriously, I cannot. Well, maybe I'll go a different direction then. Yeah, that'll work. We'll use this. The same logic will apply. So basically, what I was going to show you is, doesn't matter about the color. That's why I didn't bother changing it. Well, in this case, it's an uploaded logo, but just take it like that. And then once the options come up here, we're going to go to the opacity and bring that to 0. And you might think, well, wait a minute, then you can't see it. Well, actually, you can on this one. Unusual. Then we'll go to our emboss. And we'll take that up to the 20 marker or so. Normally, you will not see the logo at all. I guess because it's black on black, maybe? I don't know. 100% opacity should make it all go away. And sometimes it bleeds through to the front. In this case, it did not. So, I don't know. I'm just going to use that for now so it has something. It's not just plain, but eventually I'll find an Elite. And by making the opacity all the way down to 0, generally you can't see it anymore. And then when you emboss it, that's all you see. Is it's like it's stamped into the leather. And it's a pretty cool effect, which I didn't get to show you with that one because it didn't work right. All right, stand by while I grab D-Train here. Party chat, boom. All right, there you go, buddy. You are officially invited. Got that back there. Got that back there. Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. How are you?
Oh, just another pleasant day on 2K22, you know?
Are there any pleasant days on 2K22? Haven't had too many.
Yeah, not too many either. Yeah, I thought that was funny when I sent you that copy of that tweet. That's all they were doing to people that are complaining is that same copy and paste message to everyone.
Yep. That's how you avoid a problem.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, well, I guess if you lower the bar enough.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I can just hear them in their offices, too, going, man, we gave them great graphics. What the fuck do these people want? Everything?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to say, too. I bet you that's the same thing. They figure, oh, the graphics are good, so they're not going to care about all this other stuff.
Yeah, the fact that he can't play it. Don't let that get in the way.
Yeah, who cares how great it looks if it doesn't work?
So it crashes a few dozen times. It's worth it. Look at the graphics.
Yeah. Acknowledge me. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that one pissed me off. Holy, acknowledge us. I'm like, oh, I'll acknowledge you, motherfuckers. Here's some video.
Oh, I know. But don't feel bad. Like I said, you're not the first person to have that particular issue.
I know, which is the problem. Too many people are having it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, it's still a shame. I mean, like I said, I can play Grand Theft Auto 5, and I've never had, of course, I'll jinx myself. I've never had one crash while playing the game.
But you won't.
Ever.
You know why? That game makes them a lot of money.
Well, I'd like to think this game would make them a lot of money, too, after 2 years.
How do you microtransaction in this?
DLC, big time.
Yeah, but they can't. So you have a limited ceiling on how much money you can really charge other than the game itself and maybe a DLC package. They can't make money on this thing. Grand Theft, and I haven't played that game personally, but my understanding is there's always room for more money to be spent on that game. Is that right?
I'd say so.
I mean, like, can't you always buy a new car? Like, if you don't want to earn it the game way, you can, like, actually purchase it or coins and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah, and they still add stuff you could do with PC and that, too. So, it's...
Yeah.
And that game's been out for...
at least 4 or 5 years.
Yep, no kidding. And it's still...
I bought it when it came out. On launch day, I bought it, played it for 3 hours, brought it back, sold it. Because, not for nothing... I will never understand how African Americans play that game. It is every negative stereotype amplified to the nth degree. They drop the N-bomb so much, and I'm thinking, like, even the voice actors, do you have no shame or pride? I mean, they are mocking you is what they're really doing for money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I just don't get it. I just whatever. So as soon as I got like my ears raped with the N-word, I only got maybe an hour into the game and I said I'm done.
It's worse if you play online against people.
Yeah, well they're all talking that way. Well
there's like 7 or 8-year-old kids.
Yeah.
People that MFer and all, and it's like, wow, I'm not used to this culture. Like, damn.
But they just went out and got this game that has all that stuff in it. So what'd you expect?
Yeah, no, no, for sure. But like I said before, this is a 2K problem, and it's not just their wrestling game. It's their, like I said, their NBA game has been like that for years too. People have complained. There's, you're supposed to have a like start today mode where you could start the season like, from today, and for a lot of people, it wasn't disabled all year round. Well, why do you, and they don't care.
Yeah, I've heard a lot. I haven't played an NBA game, but I'm just telling you, I've heard a lot of people with those complaints, so I know they're true.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for me, I'll admit, again, I'll jinx myself. I haven't had an NBA crash, but I've seen some features that don't work, and it's just kind of like, why offer it if you're not going to offer to make it work? Like, it's just money. It's all about the money.
Yep, I agree.
It's cool and all, but fix your damn game.
That's going to sound crazy, but do they not have the Steve Austin leg brace in the game? Because on this Chris Statlander, they actually used a logo for the brace.
Ooh.
Let me see, though. Edit attire.
Well, that would be pretty messed up. Austin's in the game and he doesn't have the knee brace. That would be...
I mean, they've always had it. Lower value, you want the left leg.
Let's add some new hairstyles and some new eyes.
Or maybe you can't do that with a knee pad. Maybe that was the issue.
Maybe.
Well, let me see. Yeah, they do. Let me see how this looks. Well, I gotta be honest with you, that almost looks like it's painted on too. Let me see, there's different variations of it. So far I got that one.
Mike Tyson accused of punching a guy in an airplane, huh?
Oh, Mike, come on, man. You cleaned up nice. You got a wife and a family, and you've been doing it right. Don't let these idiots bring you back down.
Oh, supposedly they have... Oh, I can't play it because it would override what's going on, but yeah, they got footage of it.
Really?
Yep.
How punched was he? I mean, did he like knock his lights out, or? I'm gonna go with this one. I like this one.
Is there a way I can watch without cutting out the audio here, or is it gonna matter?
Oh, dude, I have no idea. Save the link and then hit me up on Twitter with it. Let's see how this looks. I kind of prefer this over the other version. It would be nice to have the knee pad a little bit more, but maybe we can do something with the socks. Let me see. Looks like they went pretty high with those already, but let's see if there's anything higher. Oop, D-Train. Apparently you can't. Here, what do we got here? There you are.
Yeah, you can forget that. That totally cuts it out. Okay. I'll have to watch it later, but yeah, it shows, yeah, he's punching the guy on a plane, somebody videotaped it, so.
Well, it shouldn't be hard to pull it up later anyway, just by doing a search.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right, this works.
An aggressive passenger who began harassing him and threw a water bottle at him.
Ooh. There's people in this world that I might want to hit with a water bottle. I'm pretty sure he's on that list of people I don't.
Yeah, Jesus.
And not for nothing, I gotta think it's Mike Tyson. He's in first class. He ain't riding coach.
You'd like to think so.
Yeah, kind of would. I mean, I know Don King took most of his money, but for God's sake, let the man fly. Leave Britney alone!
So apparently the guy started by talking smack on her.
Somebody was looking for a cheap payday. I'll get my ass punched out by Tyson for the kind of money I'm going to get. Well, guess what? Tyson ain't got that kind of money no more. Well, I guess he did okay with the Roy Jones fight.
Welcome to the point he had enough and told him to chill. The man did, and Tyson allegedly threw several punches at the man's face.
Well,
Shows you.
if you threw the first punch, pal, guess what? You ain't going to win that lawsuit too much. There's still a level of aggression that you've got to be responsible for. You can't just be Mike Tyson with fists of steel and beat a guy into oblivion unless he's a physical threat as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if throwing a water bottle at somebody constitutes. I mean,
well, it's a hit for a hit. I mean, how was it? A full bottle? Was it frozen? You know, all these things you got to take into consideration. And if you hit me with a water bottle, I'm going to punch you at least once. At that point in time, you know, you're the one that brokered the deal. I'm just closing on it.
well, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
I can see it too. I can just see it now.
That motherfucker, he just hit me with a water bottle. That stupid motherfucker, he hit me with, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna make you my bitch. I'm gonna fuck you till you love me.
Well, thank you. Everyone in the chat can thank me. There you go. I got him to do a Mike Tyson impersonation. Wasn't expecting that.
I'll tell you, when he was like crazy Mike Tyson at the end, when he couldn't win any fights and he knew it, and he was doing these press conferences where he was starting to screw guys in the audience.
I'll make you my bitch. I'll fuck you till you love me.
I'm like, damn, that's pretty graphic, Mike.
Yeah, to say the least.
Like, I was like, man, those women really did mess your head up a bit, didn't they? But I was always I've always felt bad for this guy. I mean, he never had a fair break. He had a rough childhood growing up. Didn't have a father figure, of course, until Cuss came along. But by that time, he was 16. Ends up being the greatest thing in the history of boxing. Then lets that dumb bitch, what was his wife's name there?
Oh, Robin Givens.
Robin Givens. Oy. I mean, yeah, easy on the eyes, but that's where it all ends. And between her and her mom, did they play that boy like a fiddle? And then he gets that Desiree Washington dumb bitch. So every time, and then Don King, which again, these are choices he made. You know, if you thought Don King was a good idea, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, man, that guy. You know, I never ordered any of his fights because.
No, I
just
did.
waited till the band HBO because it wasn't worth the 45 seconds the fight would be over with.
Yeah, but that was the joy of it all, man. You knew it was history.
Yeah.
You knew it was history.
Although I do remember we all got together, we all chipped in for the Tyson Holyfield fight where he just started punching his ear. Yeah, that was.
And the problem is I usually have a big meal right before the fight, and I didn't have time for one, so I was just very hungry.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, tragedy. I used to leave, like back in the day when people had answering machines on their landlines. You know, for those of you that don't know, landline is a phone that plugs into the wall. They existed.
Yes, they sure do.
Yeah, they still do in offices anyway. Some homes. Anyway, I had an answering machine, little cassette deck in there and all that stuff. And I would always do voices. So, like, let's say it was Ronald Reagan or whatever the case may be. And I would. So, anyway, at this time, Tyson gets arrested and found guilty of rape. And he's in prison now, right? So, you called my house and you got a message that went something like this.
Hi, thank you for calling right now. This is Mike Tyson, the former heavyweight champion of the world. I can't take your call right now because I'm in prison. I didn't do nothing, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, I can only imagine people's reactions on that one.
Well, they knew me, so. And if they didn't, they were trying to sell something, in which case I didn't want them anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It was designed to get rid of people that I don't like.
I know way back in the day with cell phones, I got Jive Soul Bro to be my theme song.
There you go.
I had to listen to that before it even got to my message. I didn't get left a lot of messages, to say the least. Yeah.
But if you're going to leave one, that's a good one to leave.
Yeah, no kidding. Pile Driver, the album. Good lord.
Yeah, buddy. I got it. Got it right here.
The actual album, or
Got the album, got the CD album, got the digital.
yeah. I got it on cassette back in the day. Yes, there was cassettes that played music back in the day too. For those that don't know.
Hell, I still got cassettes. I still got cassette deck in my audio system here in the studio. One of these days, I got to do a studio tour. I've had people asking me. I was just like, the camera's kind of not so nimble right now. But if I can free it up at some point in time or come up with another alternative, I will.
Yeah, man.
All right.
It's weird going back and going to YouTube and checking out some of those old music videos for some of those old themes. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Times sure flew by, I'll tell you.
All right. Copy this.
2K.
And I forget who made this one. We can look it up later, but I'll tell you what. This is one of those spot-ons. This Chris Statlander looks so good.
Yeah, I've got the same one. I forget who did that one too, but
So like I said, I'm taking the painted-on leg brace off and switching it for an actual one. I think it's going to look a lot better. It's a little bigger than the one she actually wears, but small detail compared to having a painted-on one. And actually, I don't know that that is smaller because normally, you know, like I said, I coached for years, and I've had a couple girls that ended up having to wear one of those. And it usually went about mid-thigh. That's about right. So it's probably more accurate than the painted-on one.
Twitter updated its app again, huh?
Oh, did it? That means I'm probably getting kicked off. They don't like us Republicans.
Yeah, I was wondering if I was ever going to get a reaction from 2K with all these tweets and stuff I've been putting on here.
You and me both, but I figure, hey, I just got back on Twitter. What do they use to kick me off? Big deal.
Oh, but the My Faction maintenance break has it's concluded.
Good.
You can now use My Faction again. Congratulations.
All 7 of you can use it again. So, Michael, you're trying to brainstorm what you should be doing. What do you mean? We're talking about story mode? Or with this game in particular? Tragedy, I can't. It's not mine. None of this stuff is mine. The only thing I made that's mine, which I hope I uploaded, and I think I did, is Taz for AEW. As a manager. I haven't even checked mine to see if it's up there. And even then, I made some tweaks after the fact, so I've got to kind of redo that.
We'd be happy to assist you. Please submit a ticket here.
Just go. You have it dead on. He says, I remember the first time I heard Iron Mike talk, and I thought I was being pranked. People will remember where they were on 9/11. People will remember where they were when Kennedy was shot, for those that were here for that. There are certain things in life you'll always remember. And I remember where I was the first time I heard Mike Tyson. And he'd already had a bunch of fights. He was undefeated, of course. I just never heard him speak. It's like he knocked the guy out, he left the ring, and that was it. And then after one of his fights that actually went 3 rounds, Larry Merchant is interviewing him after the match. And now, Mike... he took you to the 3rd round. That doesn't normally happen, but it did. What was you? I could tell there was something different about you in that 3rd round. What was it?
You know, Larry, I was just thinking that if I could hit him with an uppercut, if I could take his nose and drive it through his brain, he wouldn't want to fight anymore.
And I'm in a room with me and like 2 of my buddies watching this fight, and the 3 of us had jaws on the coffee table, eyes out of our skulls, like, did he just suck on some helium? Or maybe like pre-fight rituals, they put a tight drawstring around his balls to make him mad like the bulls in the rodeo? I'm like, what's that voice? I said, you'd have to be the baddest boxer in the world. You're going to walk around with that voice.
He just wanted to push his nose to his wing so he doesn't want to fight anymore.
And that's when we knew we were dealing with somebody who's a slightly different cat. And then I watched that fight back, and at the last round in particular, and damn it, those uppercuts, you watching them, it's like, he was trying to push that man's nose through his brain. And that is an actual interview that took place. You can find it. I wish I could remember what the opponent was. Jungle Boy Kenny. Did I not save her picture? Gosh damn it. All that work and I forgot to save the thumbnail.
See, I'm starting to think some of the people that are giving 2K props don't really care about some of the options that, like you and I or some other, or a lot of the regular people that play this game actually care about.
It could be that. It could also be they don't play universe mode. They're not into cause as much, which I find that hard to believe. I mean, how that, whether you make them or not, whether you do a fantasy season or not, you would want to have a bigger roster, wouldn't you not? Of course you would.
Right. Yep, and guys that aren't maybe in the game that you like, what if you like Braun Breaker? He's not in the game. Well, there you go. You can find him and it's done. I agree.
See, like Michael's over here saying he's not even touching universe mode, which is okay because if you do, it'll touch you back. But, you know, the sim matches, I have noticed that they do improve when you adjust the sliders accordingly. And there's a bunch of videos out there, but basically you're going to take almost everything and slide it down to 0. And that does actually give you a better sim match.
Yeah, see, that's what everybody liked about Fire Pro, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it was doing it as well. Or maybe I just didn't have the patience to figure it all out. And the 2D thing, I thought I could get back into it, but nah, I really can't. Let me look at the graphics on this thing, and I'm supposed to go to Fire Pro?
Yeah, it does take quite the adjustment.
Yeah. I mean, it can be entertaining for a hot minute, but yeah. I tried. I gave it a second chance, and I just wasn't vibing on it. All right, so
go ahead.
I was going to say go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, the only thing I didn't like is if you downloaded somebody, if you downloaded it, a lot of people, and you could download, I forgot how many guys, over 1,000 guys if you wanted to.
Oh, as many as your memory can hold.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
But then to try to delete them all.
Yeah, you got a minute.
Like that was, I mean.
But why would you bother if there's no, if it's an endless roster that you can put up there?
True, I guess.
All right, so what we're doing right now is we are editing Kairi Kai, and that is another from My Rise. So if it crashes again, then that'll be 2 My Rises. Everybody else has worked fine without crashing. So we're going to find out quickly if that is the issue.
WWE2K23 crash.
23.
Well, for next year. It'll still, like I said.
I say they're not wasting any time, are they?
That should be the name title, Crash.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, that actually would be. At least there would be no argument if there was false advertisement.
For sure.
I mean, really, there wasn't false advertising with this game. They did say it hits different. And while, yes, it still crashes, it does it different.
And for the sad part is they did do a couple of things actually right.
Which,
not many.
Yeah, but that's what makes it more sad. Why'd you stop at 1?
The download limit thing. That was
Yeah.
That was one of the best things they did. Graphically, yes, it looks pretty damn good. But working some of the ring mechanics and some of the other stuff. I mean, this isn't the WWF game where it was like Mortal Kombat. I forget the name of the title, but.
Yeah, I mean, part of what frustrates me about this game is that they did so many things that were improvements. Why didn't you just take it home, man? And you had 2 years, so I can't go with we didn't have the time thing.
Yeah, it's funny. They had 2 years, but how much of that 2 years did they actually spend?
Well, that's on
They
them.
spent 2 years and this is this. Damn. It's like, look at the AEW game. It's still not even out yet.
What's that?
The AEW video game that
Yeah.
they're working on.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I feel very confident that that game is going to work properly. It'll have a glitch or two. Everything does. But I think overall, I think it's going to work really well at launch.
And considering, I guess, they're really putting the bill on this game. Like, they're investing a lot of money into this game, so...
And they announced that Jeff Hardy's going to be in the game, which tells you anything's possible because he just got signed.
Really?
Yep.
I did not see. So.
Yeah. So he's in there, and I don't know if Blaze is still in the house right now, but he was at the show last night, and they recorded the audience for the game.
Oh, yeah.
So they had him doing, like, Fight Forever and stuff like that. So Blaze is going to be in the game, bitch.
Get the well, I can't say the word residuals for that. Here you go. No.
That's right. I was trying to think of that word earlier, and I couldn't even think of it, so you're ahead of me. Oh, goodness. I guess we'll just go plastic.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be a cutoff date, and there will be some guys that might just not make it, but...
Well, I think they've done the cutoff date now, but Jeff Hardy made the cut. So that means anybody up to Jeff Hardy. I mean, who's come in after? I can't even think of anybody offhand, but...
Yeah, Samoa Joe.
Oh, shit. Well, as long as you have a good creation suite, then not a problem.
Yeah, I hope so.
And maybe they can do DLC after the fact, you know, patch them in.
Tony Storm won't be in there either, but...
And I have a feeling this is not going to be an annual release game, so they may very well just have DLC packs that come out in 8 months.
Yeah, maybe you'll be able to purchase all kinds of different stuff, updated arenas.
Yep. Very plausible.
That would be a good idea if the gameplay is up to par.
Oh, shit. So Michael Williams can't even simulate because the game crashes. Michael, have you deleted the game and reinstalled it?
Yeah, I've seen some things on Twitter where people are showing how to clear out your cache for 2K and everything.
Yeah, and that is the thing. You may end up losing all of your saved information. All right. It's poll time once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheetah dancing on a pole time, or...
Yeah, she wants to. All right, place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Will Kira Kai, or Kyra Kai, whatever the hell her name is, crash the game when I go to save it right now?
Yeah, it's gonna crash. It's not even a silent vote for me. Nope. Crash. Not Crash Holly, but crash.
We got a 50-50 right out the gate. I'm going to give it like a minute. Vote quick. Nah, there we go. 67% say it's crashing. Like I said, we are going to solve one part of the mystery of the Fallout here right now, one way or another.
Hey, we got the 2K, the NXT 2.0 arena. All should be good.
Yeah. Look at the shiny thing over here. Look over here. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. You got 4 votes, 75% saying it's going to crash. All right, got another 30 seconds. I know we're on tape delay here, but 30 seconds of my time. So by the time you're hearing this shit, it might be too late. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and all right, we got 75% say this thing's going to crash the game. Ready, set, and crash.
Come on, give me the nasty blue screen.
Come on, Kyrie. Got people betting on you. It's ooh, I heard that quiet music for a second there. I thought that was it.
I hate when that happens too. It's like,
Yeah, Michael, that's what helped me out a lot before the patch, but even now that I've deleted literally everything and starting over. Oh, she didn't crash. So it is simply El Ordinario then is the issue. Which means we're going to delete him right now. Bitch.
yeah, I feel I need to start over, but not the hard reset, so to speak. I've reached my 1,000 picture limit. Even though the data size means absolutely nothing, because according to the data amount, I still have plenty of room. But 1,000 is 1,000. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I just got rid of El Ordinario. He gone.
I'm sure like Punk took a lot because all the tattoos.
Yeah, man, and that's one of the things I would like to see them do is when community creations get uploaded and you're looking at which one you're going to download, if they had a logo count somewhere to let you know, like if somebody's got a CM Punk and another guy's got one, they're both pretty good, but one only has 10 logos because of the way he was able to do it. The other one's got 30. I'm going to go with the one with 10. Thank you.
Although I did get to 92 characters before I got to the 1,000, so I'm not disappointed. But I know I downloaded a lot of shows and stuff like that. But, yeah. I'm just going to start making some of my own, I think.
McCarter Baby, thank you for the sub. The nation continuing to grow. Appreciate that very much, man. Come on in, have a seat, grab a beer. I tell you I'm buying, but then I'm lying, so.
Yep, and it's 2K, so.
This made me realize I didn't open my Streamlabs today, did I? I did not. Let me see if it picks that up, though. Sometimes
So
it will.
I'm the only one that noticed last night, or does it look like Britt Baker's going to be going after Jade for the title, I think.
Well, she's going to be doing something for sure.
I don't know if she's turning good. Face. But yeah, I do believe it's going to be Punk and Hangman at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view for sure.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Give me a second here while I work on something for a moment.
Of course, if he wins the title or not.
I just realized I wasn't getting the chat up on the screen, dummy.
Oh. We got the same Jake Hager I got too with that green shirt.
Nation alert. Interesting. Oh well. Alright, let's see. Where was I? Ethan Page. Who did I just fix up? I think we just deleted that one. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, because we did Kyrie Kai. Kyra Kai. And then we got Malachi is good. Ooh, that's not Luchasaurus at all. This was made by our friend Worm, who did a tremendous job on this. This is now number 2 on the Luchasaurus list. I believe should be number 1. Go here first so I don't forget again. And then I want to try something here. Curious to see if I can make these designs. Is it this? He's done a lot on that. Let's see. Now, I'm not entirely sure where this thing is yet, but we'll figure it out in a moment. Because what I want to do is try and make these scales look a little bit more like actual scales by hitting them up with some embossment. Or is that the belt? No, it shouldn't be the belt.
So the AEW title is going to be called Fight Forever, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what they're going with. Well, I'm not seeing any difference on that if that's what it is.
That's not a bad title.
No, actually, it's a pretty good, especially for them. Kind of fits.
Yeah, it does.
My alerts are not working at the moment. I'm not sure why. Nope, not happening.
Ice-T has quite a big response for the Mike Tyson. Basically, the problem is nowadays MFers think they won't get punched in the face.
No. Don't get it wrong. The guy wanted to get punched in the face. He wanted that payday.
Yeah.
He was completely ready for that money. Part of me wants to make a second attire, but while I'm looking at this, that'd be some work. Not today.
Mike Tyson's never made it into a video game,
Punch Out.
wrestling.
Wrestling, yeah, he did. He was as a DX referee attire. Didn't have boxing gloves, but he was in the game. He was playable character. That was like 2K15 or THQ15, whatever it was.
Wow. I probably had it and didn't even know I had them.
Yeah, he was part of like a DLC package, if I remember correctly.
Oh, maybe I didn't get the package.
All right, what we got going on here?
Oh, WWE2K13 he was in, yep.
So McCarter Baby's got some issues here where the new patch made his pin meter and carry and drag meter not able to fill up no matter how many times he taps the button. So first thing I would tell you to do is check your sliders. Make sure nothing's been readjusted. Like you might have had it at a certain level, and then the 109 comes out. Next thing you know, it's not there anymore. So check your sliders first and foremost and make sure those are where you wanted them to be. They did make some adjustments on overall gameplay. I wouldn't imagine dragging somebody to be one of them. But hey, it's 2K. It's part of their charm. And worst case scenario, I'll tell you what I tell everybody. Do a backup save. delete the game, reinstall the game, and then you can bring your old save back in. Daryl Pierce, I have had no problems with universe mode since the new patch came out. Daryl, I'm happy for you. I wouldn't wish this bullshit on anybody. Michael, should I reinstall my saved data prior to the 1.09? It shouldn't. If you have a save file prior to 1.09, which is what I'm working off of on mine right now, of course mine was way before, then I would say you're probably safer that way, which may mean that you're going to give up some content. But I can only tell you that thus far mine seems to be working properly by starting all over from scratch and having a save file that was at least 3 or 4 weeks old. So that's my best advice there. So if you've got one that's a prior to 109 patch, yeah, I would use that. Because otherwise I feel like you'd only be bringing in the problem again. Although it's possible that just resetting the game will take care of the mechanic issue and that your save would be fine. So maybe you try it. You know what? Maybe you try it both ways. I would try it first by backing up what you currently have. No, actually, don't bother, because that's what I did. And, well, for me, it didn't work. I did do that. I rebooted the game and everything. I brought in my save file that I had there when the 109 dropped. And, yeah, no bueno. So, yeah, I would say probably go with your prior save, even if that means losing some roster and stuff like that. It's probably going to be a better deal for you at the end of the day. Wish I had good news, but I can only report what is. Sidebar, you have to bring a special voice appearance of Iron Mike Tyson. All right, he wants me to work in some Italian guys in the Iron Mike Tyson. He's referring back to some character work I think that I did, gosh almighty, 10 years ago. Back when I had a program running called the XCW, Extreme Championship, or Extreme Caliber Wrestling.
Extreme Caliber Wrestling.
Yeah, I did that years ago, and it was on my old channel, really, but then I did get a few episodes of it up on this channel in the Classic Edition playlist.
I'll have to check that out later, see what you're doing.
The owners, it was basically the owners were kind of like a Sopranos kind of deal. So you had this like mafia kind of thing, and they were getting ready to go up against Paulie and the ECW, and I enjoyed that one. That was a good run.
Fictitious roster?
A little bit of both. And that was back when you actually had the ability to create stories. So you had behind-the-scenes scenes, restaurant scenes, parking lot scenes. I mean, I could tell a story back then the right way. Boy, wouldn't that be nice to have that again?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, you're not.
You know, you could wish for what you want in one hand.
Yep, shit in the other. See which one fills up. Tragedy Dark says, Vince for president. Dude, I'd take the job because we need one right now. We're missing one. As the old saying goes, somewhere there's a village missing its idiot. Britain, hello there.
What?
Britain's funny. Says Bin Laden's already surrendered. You can come out of the cave too. Referring to my lighting situation over here, which I get it. It's not. Let me see what I can do. I usually have the red light and the blue light on in the background. I just didn't do it today because I'm lazy. Let me see. I just don't want to flood things out too much here, but let me see. That might give it a little bit more.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it got dark, so it'll be better now. Well, you'll see me now. I don't know if that's better or not, but you asked for it, you got it. But that was a good line. I like that. You can come out of the cave, too. Creative story was amazing, especially for creators. What a thought. I really thought this year I was going to get that back, man. I was going, writing stuff down, getting some plans together. I was going to do one exclusive just to upload for the fans to mess around with, that I wasn't going to stream it or anything like that. That would be the only way you'd experience it. And I was, after that, just going to use that crap out of it to do what I do. And then, nope, we're not doing creative stories. Of course you're not, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, and I agree with you. What game was it? The 2K19 you're talking about with the blood?
Yeah,
Where-
2K19, and a lot of them before that, but 2K19 got it right where, you know, it looks like the way you bleed in a wrestling match. You know, it's always forehead, and it gets a little bit worse depending on how much damage you take. You take enough damage now, the blood's getting on your chest and stuff. And if you go back far enough, and I think it might have been THQ, though, where it stopped, that the blood would get on the canvas. Because I was playing an old game one time, a few weeks, well, months back now, and I don't remember which one it was. Might have been like Here Comes the Pain or something like that. And just seeing the blood hit the canvas really kind of shocked me almost at first. I was like, oh, whoa, what was that? Because he hadn't seen it in so damn long. But what a nice little touch.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And you have this setting there to turn it on and off. So if you're a parent, you don't want your kid seeing blood. Why are they watching wrestling?
Yeah, they should have a feature where how much blood you actually want. Do you want a little? If there's an option you can bleed like a pig, or what do you want to do? But
Floss Jones music. The game is still crashing. Not as bad as it has at other times, but that, you know, to say you're crashing 10 times and not 20 doesn't mean you're having a good game. Michael, you got to let me know how that works out for you. And I hope it does. Wonder what's going on with my alerts and why they're not popping in there. I'll have to worry about that later. Gonna have this song stuck in my head. All right, where are we at here? Cardona, Matt Menard, Taven. And I didn't get the same Matt Taven I had earlier. Couldn't find it. This one's still not bad. Yeah. Well, this is here for now, not necessarily for long. We'll see. The Opportunist. Didn't Edge already take that title? How many? He's got 2 attires. Okay. It's not the same one I had, but I couldn't find another one, so they may have already... The creator may have pulled it down to make room for something else or something. I don't know.
maybe he said screw 2K. I linked his account and said see ya.
Anything is possible.
Although I don't know. You would have to go through and actually delete it, right? Like even if you...
Yeah, you'd have to go up there and delete. I think there's still a cap on how many things you can upload.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So maybe, you know, he got to the point where that wasn't getting a lot of traction and decided to delete that and put something up there. And that's another good thing is you didn't, at least I didn't have to, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not doing much of it this year anyway, but In the past, you had to get so many downloaded things before you'd move up to the next tier as a creator. And this year, right out the gate, Diamond. Now, that could be based on past performance or something. I don't know, but it looks like the same way they're letting you download as many as you want to. I really got to start working on my face texture technique some more. Still not happy with where some of that is. So I've got a few that came out good, but there's other ones that I thought would have come out a lot better than they ended up doing.
Yep, what he said in the comments is totally true. Every time 2K releases a patch, it fixes something in the game, and it breaks something in the game. Yep, sure does.
And the thing, Donnell, is that it's not always an even trade. It's not like you get one, lose one. You get one, you lose three. Or in this case, you lose your entire roster and your entire season and everything.
Yeah.
We fixed a bunch of stuff. Now start from scratch, bitch.
Yeah, I'll be interested what patch 1.10 is going to be. And I guarantee it won't be as big a list as this last one.
Yeah, but I also don't know if I want it.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder that in a huge list what they really truly did.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you have this monumental... I mean, I was looking for Jefferson's signature on this thing somewhere. I figured Thomas Jefferson had to sign off on that thing. It looked like the Constitution of the United States. It was so long. I'm surprised it wasn't on parchment and calligraphy.
That's why I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, am I going to really send him on something? Because I wasn't sure. I just went looking it up right away, and I saw his notes. I was like, holy, I don't even know what half the stuff is, but okay.
I mean, Stephen King has written things that didn't take that long to read.
Well, you know, cool the belts were awesome. So it doesn't matter if you can't use them.
Yeah, the belts work now. Just delete every damn thing you've worked on for the last month.
Yep. Yeah. And even still, technically, not all the belts don't work. I keep trying to download an NWA title, and I've done a couple different ones, and none of them work.
Well, that's weird.
So I guess they just don't like the NWA. I don't know. We like AEW, but we don't like the NWA. So.
Well, I'm going to be downloading an NWA belt eventually here because I want to put it on Cardona. I think I'm going to put every belt on Cardona. I mean, doesn't he have like 9 right now?
I think it's like 6, but yeah. Got a lot.
Life's not bad after the WWE. I'm really hoping I get to meet him in Chelsea when they come here in a couple of weeks. That's like the number one thing. The only major thing that I really want is to be able to just say hi to them and get a picture would be a major bonus.
Yeah, he actually seems like a good dude.
Oh, he is. And he's from my neck of the woods.
Oh, yeah.
He's an islander.
That's why it's funny. I remember there was a picture way back in WWE when Punk had a title, Daniel Bryan had a title, Zack Ryder.
It was like the Oprah show. You get a title and you get a title. Everybody's getting a title.
But it was guys that you never thought were going to be like champions.
Yep.
Zack Ryder was the IC or US champion. I think Beth Phoenix was a champion. It was like just people.
Oh, what was it, WrestleMania, where you had Eddie and Chris both walk out with world titles?
Oh, yeah, WrestleMania 20.
The runts of the litter. Yeah, I forget what work I did on this face. I definitely did something. Oh, I widened it out. It was too narrow. Let me first get this done, because I keep forgetting if I don't. Face.
H2K hyped the game. I thought it was going to be good. Well, they're not. Part of me's like, well, of course they're not going to say 2K22. This game is shit.
Well, that's called truth in advertising, though.
True.
That is a good quote, though. The way they hyped it, I thought this game was going to be good. I mean, imagine it. What was that Jim Carrey movie? He was a lawyer, liar, where he wasn't allowed to tell lies. He tried to and he couldn't. The truth just forced its way out of him. And as a lawyer, good luck with that. But I could see it now. It's like, so 2K, when this game releases, what can we expect? You can expect a whole lot of crashing. You're going to lose all your information and you're going to be really pissed. Let's see, facial structure, head size. Look how narrow that is. That's like, oh my goodness, he got it down to a 1. Nobody got a 1, man. Was he a spaceman? At least go to the 50, I'd say. Depth, yeah, you might be right on that. And I always bring this thing down because don't nobody got that big a back end. See, what he did with this face scan is kind of what I should be doing more with mine, which is just keeping the cheek lines in for the most part, the eyes and the nose and maybe the mouth. And really just carve it out around that, I think, is the easier way to go. Because that doesn't look terrible. It looks a little weird, but then again, so does the guy's real face. I mean, he's a good-looking dude. He's just got a very unique cut to him. And I still haven't seen a better Ricky Starks yet.
Yeah, that's true.
This one almost looks like a caricature, but it does it in a good way. Corey Andrews knows the reference of liar, liar. There you go. So imagine if the devs of this game get that same ailment right before the release of whatever the next one is. Sean Spears, Stephanie Ronda, they're all good. Was that the second Ronda? Looks like it. By the way, if you've not seen Liar Liar, that is a great comedy. And who don't need a reason to laugh nowadays? Got to keep a sense of humor, especially when the Democrats are in the White House.
Yeah, I catch myself laughing at things that happen in this game. Especially like playing matches and stuff. Just like, what the hell? Reno.
Corey Andrews, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I'm the same way. I love Jim Carrey. I think he's a funny guy. I also like very much his stance right out the gate after the whole Will Smith slap incident. He was right off the bat, it called out all of Hollywood for being a bunch of fakes. That less than an hour later, they're applauding the guy. Hollywood generally doesn't turn on its own simply because they're afraid of ramifications, but he's like, fuck you. I did not, Danelle. Asking if we saw the Sonic 2 movie. I did not see Sonic 2. I didn't see Sonic 1 either for that matter, but... Blade and Sean Spears look a little bit alike. It's Sting!
Yeah, he sure does incorporate that dive off the balcony a lot lately.
Yeah, like I said, I would love to see him not do that ever again.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he's lucky. But I mean, sooner or later that luck could run out.
That's the whole thing about luck. That's exactly what it does. Thou art a fickle bitch.
Well, you know what I mean. Considering he's already had the problems he's had, for all those guys just so happen to not catch him. I mean,
Well, even if they do, look, you're still 60 years old. You're still dropping 15 feet down. Even if they catch you, there's an impact. I mean, yeah, they're breaking most of it. But I just don't get it. Why? Why at this point in time are you doing that?
yeah. Needless to say, when he signed there, I really did not expect to see him on TV every week, and I didn't expect him to be as active for what he's doing.
I don't think he did either.
I mean, yeah,
I'm sure somewhere in his mind he's like, wait a minute, what the hell is this shit? You want me to jump off a what?
yeah, I'd like to know what his contract is. These guys get paid pretty nicely.
Nope. You have to do this differently.
But yeah, he's obviously he still loves wrestling because
Yeah.
making up for the time he could have had in WWE, but well, yeah.
Well, the WWE dropped the ball on him, but what else is new? That's what they do best. That's why when I hear these rumors about Dax and Cash going back and Moxley going back, I'm like, unless it is strictly for the money, and let's be honest, it's a business. It's about money. But unless that's the only reason, it's not for a career choice because they're already been there, done that, and they know they're not going to be used well. I don't know. I think when you look at the AEW option, look at, again, Dax and Cash, they got all the free time in the world to go to whatever promotions they want to go to, make extra money that way, still have the AEW deal.
And plus, I mean, they could eventually, what they're the AAA tag champions and tag champions. They could the Impact or the not Impact. Well, they could do, but the AEW tag team champions.
Yep.
To go to WWE and be what? Jobbing to Gable and Otis. No, Chad Gable's not a bad wrestler. Don't get me wrong.
A little on the small side. You do find in AEW, small don't matter to them any.
No. Like, I didn't realize how small Grisham was until he was.
Yeah, he's a short guy. But again, he's stocked out. He's thick as shit. And you can kind of make an argument that way.
I mean, his head, I don't know if his head went over the top.
He might be doing the midget rebounds off the middle rope.
Yeah, I mean, him and Layla Hirsch, I mean, between those two, pretty small, but.
Yeah, I think Layla Hirsch is legitimately like an inch and a half away from being legally considered a midget.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to admit, though, like with Dynamite last night, they advertised, what was it, like 6 matches in 2 hours. I almost part of me was like, damn, how are they going to fit all that in? But
Yeah, you can do it.
But they sure did it. I mean, obviously, the Butcher match with Wardlow wasn't very long.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Who thought that was going to be a good match? Nobody.
Wardlow definitely has the wrestler look. There's no question about it. But when people say, oh, WWE'd be interested in him, yeah. But he's not that.
They weren't when they had him. Did you see his interview with Chris Van Vliet?
No, I did not see that one recently.
Oh, yeah. He talks all about that. How the call-ups were coming, and he'd missed a call, and everybody thought he's going to be one of the guys getting called up. And he sees that he missed a call and calls him right back. Hey, it's Brian. What's happening? Hey, how you doing? I'm good, man. I'm good, man. So this is the part of the job that kind of sucks, but we're going to have to come to terms on letting you go. And the way he tells the story is priceless. I looked at the phone a minute, and it's like, and I wasn't trying to be a smartass. Are you sure you called the right number? Is it not letting me move my pieces around? Son of a bitch. I hate when it does this. Alright, let's go this way. It's like it'll let you move from left to right, yeah, but it won't let you go from right to left.
And like Lance Archer too. Remember when they brought him in and he was like this big deal, and then he lost real quickly.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't remember the last match he won.
Neither can he.
I mean, there's no way he's beating Wardlow next week. I mean, come on.
You don't think, huh?
Well, I mean,
I'm joking. No, he's not. Well,
I mean, they could.
Yeah, with shenanigans.
With shenanigans, because I truly think it's going to be Wardlow and MJF at the pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure that's...
Yeah, of course. That's what they've been gearing up to, and they apparently want to turn him babyface, so...
It'll be for the contract or something like that.
Britt Baker on Twitter the other day posted, again, she's a Pittsburgh girl, so she posted a picture of her at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know if it's the Hall of Fame or whatever it is, some sort of place that's got all their memorabilia, life-size statues of the players and things like that. And she's posting pictures of herself there with the 6 Super Bowl trophies on Twitter. Hour later, MJF is standing behind a life-size replica statue of one of the football players, and he's banging him up the ass, basically. And he posts it to her Twitter account. Here's what I think of Pittsburgh.
Oh, man.
Now, you can't do that if you're with the WWE.
True. That is true.
It's not letting me move these parts, I feel. Let me see.
But, again, they have a figure that's too good to pass up. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to conform to some rules, but, I mean, you know, pay me $10 million a year, okay, whatever. I don't know if you'll ever quite get that much, you never know. But he is definitely in for a payday, to say the least.
This thing is not cooperating with me whatsoever. Alright, here's what we can do instead. Doing this the hard way. Well, maybe not doing it the hard way. It's an alternate tire. Let's give it a shot.
Texas Blanchard too.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with an alternate attire here. It's being a pain in the ass. I need something like this, but I don't really want this particular one because it's not really what I had in mind. Let's see, though.
I guess the stories of her must be true for her not to end up in either AEW or WWE, because, man, for a while there, it seemed like she was a lock to go to one of those places.
I'm still not sure she won't end up.
Well, she signed to that WOW promotion.
Yeah, but that ain't nothing.
I don't know what the heck's up with that. I mean, that's just...
Look, she walked out of TNA, and she did it the wrong way. Out of Impact, more like, you know, accurately. And there's some folks that are going to look at that a certain kind of way, which I get. You know, you don't walk away. They put the men's championship on you. You know, you can't walk away with that.
Yeah, no.
All right, let me try this one now and see if I can get the effect that I'm looking for. They didn't speed up this part any. I can tell you right now, it still takes freaking forever.
Yeah, they sure did.
Big JH, what's
Yo,
up in it,
Are
man?
y'all live again?
Yeah, we've been live.
Oh.
It's either that or it's
Yes, sir.
Memorex. I'm not sure.
Me in a
How
minute
y'all
or two,
doing?
I'm gonna have to bounce though, so you guys will have the spotlight, so to speak. But
There you go.
D-Train, what's up?
hey, what's up, big man? How you doing? You doing all right?
I'm feeling very well. But hey, did y'all watch the next Dynamite last night?
I did. What'd you
Yes, sir.
think?
Eh?
Eh?
3 out of 5.
What? 3 out of... Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not going to argue. The matches weren't all that great. I kind of liked the CM Punk match.
But you know, y'all might disagree with me, but I think they're setting up CM Punk to win the championship. Then MJF can win the title from CM Punk.
That was my thought too.
And I'm still thinking... See, look, MJF has got years left on him. I'm thinking
He's only 24
Daniel
years
Bryanson's
old.
going to get it.
Daniel Bryan is 41 years old.
Right, and that's why they need to get it on him now.
Well, Daniel Bryan's too caught up in that combat.
Right,
zone or
which
whatever
can make
that-
him heel very easily. And I can see him jumping Punk maybe right after he wins the belt. And go
Well,
right into a program, put it on him, and then, from there, whatever. I mean, you got time with MJF. With these other guys, and you want their name on your belt, I would think you'd want them in your lineage.
There's a rumor that they're coming out with a trios title, so yeah.
Well, I heard they were actually just going to keep the ROH one, and that'll be it, which makes more sense than bringing in a new one. Drop shot. No, that's good.
Yeah, for sure. Ah, yes. Well, I suppose, gentlemen, I'd love to stay in the
I
party.
could see Daniel Bryan, Kelsey, Jonathan Gresham for the Ring of Honor Championship.
Could happen.
They need to keep Ring of Honor separate from AEW though.
I don't know how separate they need to keep it.
But how y'all been doing?
All things considered, not bad.
Living the 2K dream, brother. you know?
Yeah, like I said, all things considered.
Keeps crashing.
That's what it does best,
Keeps
man.
crashing like, it keeps crashing like Sunny and the never mind.
Ooh, yeah. Huh?
Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, no, I know where you're going with that. Well, hey, guys, I'd love to stick around, but I actually got to take care of something before it gets too late.
All right.
If you're still on in about half hour, I'll join in. If not, catch you guys on the flip side. But
Sounds
take it
good.
easy.
Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you.
No problem. Later, guys.
Take it easy. Who's going to be the one to beat Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship? So many maybes. Cody seems like the obvious choice.
Are you gonna watch Impact tonight?
I will get around to it. I record all of them and then watch them back because I don't want to sit through bad matches and commercials. There's just too much wrestling to actually sit through all of it. But with Impact
you all about to
coming
wrap
here,
up
I
or
want to make
something?
sure I get all caught up on them and get up to date. And what were you saying?
You wrapping up?
Oh, like I said, I'll record it and watch it back. Like last night with Dynamite, I didn't go out until there was like 30 minutes left. This way I would be able to get caught up through the commercial breaks and all that.
Well, I got the TBS app, so I can watch it anytime.
Got you.
But they had Jay Cargill go over Marina Shafir, which I don't really agree with. But
And help me, Marina is a legit MMA person?
yeah, she was in the Full Horsewomen with
Oh, yes.
oh
Oh,
Shayna
wow.
Baszler.
And talk
She's
about
the
dropping the
front of
ball,
Full
man.
Horsewomen With Shayna Jessamine Duke,
Yep.
Ronda Rousey, and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, they dropped the ball on that so much. They could have had a really strong run with those ladies. And then you had the other four horsewomen with Bailey and Charlotte and Becky and
they could have done a
the
war.
Boss.
But
Whoa. Brian Cutler says Austin Theory buried Finn Balor. I guess Finn's leaving. That is the rumor.
Finn Balor's, I guess, gonna go to New Japan for a little while.
Yeah, very little while. Right before he shows up in AEW.
Well, they got that partnership now.
Yeah, that's true.
If he, I could see it if he leaves now. His 90-day will be done before that Forbidden Door pay-per-view, so he could show up as a surprise at the Forbidden Door event between New Japan and AEW.
Yep, wouldn't surprise me if he did. Quite frankly, I'd be more surprised if he didn't.
You know, he's the founder of the Bullet Club. He founded it.
Yep.
He made it. It was him and the Young Bucks and Luke Ellis and Carl Anderson. Then after Finn Balor left, they brought in AJ Styles. Then when AJ Styles left, they brought in Kenny Omega, and he was the leader for a while.
And then Jay White come along.
Jay White's good.
I don't know a lot about him. I have seen him a few times. Seems okay to me. He's got a good look.
But have you seen his creator wrestler on 2K? It's
For
spot
22?
on. Yeah, spot on.
Which creator? Because I'm actually getting ready to get one of him once I get this stuff all cleaned up.
I think it's either Defract or Drake Collins.
Can't go wrong with Defract, man. That boy does some great work.
The Hacksaw guy makes some good deal. From the Hacksaw guy makes some good.
Yeah, Hacksaw House is on fire, man. Does he have a Twitter account? Do we know?
I don't know.
I got to get a hold of that boy and get him on the show here for the Creator Studio show.
I know Dre has his own YouTube channel.
Yeah, Dre I'm already talking to. We're going to definitely have him as part of it.
I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel, but
All right, I'm not liking this.
Defract, I think, has his own Discord server. Where did D-Train disappear to?
I don't know. He said he had something he had to take care of.
Well, I didn't mean to jump in on their conversation. I just saw y'all were on party chat, and I thought I'd pop in.
Anytime. Always welcome.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Austin 30 wins the Money in the Bank contract this year.
What's that?
I wouldn't be surprised if Austin 30 wins the Money in the Bank contract this year.
I suppose. I'm still kind of not sure where I'm at with him yet.
But he's a Georgia boy, so I'm kind of partial to him.
I'm always a little bit leery when they're trying to force talent down the fans' throats. It's like,
well, they're not really forcing him. He's just got that natural charisma, and he's a good wrestler if they let him do it, you know?
well, the problem with that is the WWE isn't a wrestling company; it's an entertainment company, so they don't care if you can wrestle or not. Quite honestly.
I heard that if Cody Rhodes beats Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. They're gonna bring back the Eagle Win Championship, like when they brought back the old school Intercontinental title when he won that the first time.
Well, I can only say I sure hope so because they need a good title, and those W's are just sucking.
Well, the tag team titles are a throwback to the old WWF titles that they had back in the day.
Which tag team titles with the Roman helmets?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that.
Well, if you look at the tag team titles from the old school days.
Which old
like
school days?
70s,
What
the
tag
70s,
team champions wore titles that looked remotely like these things?
like in the 70s?
So, what are we talking about? Like Santana and Putski?
Yeah, like when Hulk Hogan won the title from the Iron Sheik.
Well, that's 85, 84.
83.
Okay.
Or, no, it was 84. January 84.
Yeah, I thought it was 84, but either way, okay. So back then, you had like the British Bulldogs. What else do we have going on back when Hogan was champ? I think the Hart Foundation was just getting there. They weren't there yet.
They don't really care about the titles no more.
Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas, the Samoans.
They're getting rid of the brand split next month anyway.
Well, they should have done that a long time ago. That thing's been a miserable failure
They
from
did
its
for a while.
incorporation.
They got rid of it for a while, then they brought it back, and then they've already unified the world title 2 times since. This is the 3rd time they unified the world title since 2001.
And I doubt it's going to be the last.
Because Chris Jericho won it the unified title the first time. Then Randy Orton won the unified title the 2nd time. Now Roman Reigns won it the 3rd time. Because they had a TLC match between John Cena and Randy Orton for the unified title a couple years ago.
Yeah.
After WrestleMania 29, I think it was. Yep, that December. I think it was 2013, 2014, I think. Did your game stop crashing?
Well, it's hard to say because now I'm just at the point where I'm re-uploading my roster. So until I actually get around to playing it again, I'm not so sure yet.
Oh, well, hey man, I was just checking in, see how y'all were doing and everything.
All right, well, I appreciate it, and you're welcome anytime, man. You just stop in. Next time, bring a 6-pack with you.
Take it easy.
All right, take care, buddy. Hope you feel better. Yeah, one of the things about Finn getting buried, and I get why. I just figured you got enough talent on that roster, you could have done somebody else. Is that he never really had his chance. I mean, he was the world champion, got injured right away, and never got the title back. He never had a good chance to run with that belt, and he was hot back then. Debating on which way I want to go with this thing. Leave it like this for now. Let's try this. that. Yeah, we might be able to make this work. Let's go. Color. Let's tweak this up a little bit here. Well, it's an alternate attire anyway, which is better than not having a second one. I'd like to have at least two. I mean, well, you can only put two, but... No, if Cody gets the title, it's not going to be for a minute. They didn't spend all that money for a minute. And Cody's going to have the title. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The story's being written. Unless he gets, God forbid, injured, that's the only thing that's going to stop that from happening. He's got the go home with the good story mode and all that stuff. He's definitely going to... Just a matter of when. Yeah, definitely got tied up with this a lot longer than I anticipated. Freaking game better not crash my stuff anymore. Yeah, Christian held it. Not for long, but he held it. He and Orton had some pretty good matches, too. Those are some of the best Christian matches, by the way. I wasn't always a fan of his work in WWE, especially in the singles category, but yeah, I thought he did solid when he was matched with Randy Orton. Good storytelling. And just all-around good matches. So far, the only issue that I have had crashing the game was using El Ordinario. Kyra Kai, not a problem there, so might have something to do with that particular character, which I've now deleted. We shall never speak of him again. I might make my own, though. I don't know about feed the bloodline to Cody, but they're definitely going to let him have the title. So however you want to look at that. Look, everyone who wins the title has to lose it. That's just the way it is. And they know that. So it's got to be somebody. Who's better? I mean, the only other option that's viable is Drew McIntyre. The thing that sucks is the way the match went down at Mania, because Roman got legitimately hurt. They had to rush the ending. All right, I'm going to get my first look here, perhaps, at some of these additional hairstyles. Because what I liked about the bunny here is that's not a hairstyle she generally wears. But if we go and edit, appearance, hair, and facial, we want to part in the middle and have it kind of fall kind of like this, but a little bit tighter. Although that's not bad. But this is my opportunity to kind of browse through and see what some of these others might look like if they pop out to me that it's a new one. I know there's some videos out there that kind of walk you through them. But let me see if I can't find a couple. Let's go back up this way. I know they have one that I kind of like from 2K19, I believe. And I'm sure they still have it in this game because they leave all that stuff behind. That's an interesting style there. Wow. Okay. Well, looks like we're going to probably settle on my second choice because I don't see. Later on, I can go through 2K19 and look at the one I've got there. And generally, they're all pretty much in the same slots so far as the hairstyles are. They'll at least be nearby. But for now, we're going to go with this. Edge, I wouldn't mind seeing him get a title like they gave Flair the Intercontinental title. I wouldn't mind him having a run with that. I don't see him being the world champion at this point so much, but could do worse. Well, Danelle, I can tell you Cody can beat him because all that has to happen is Vince McMahon says Cody's winning, and that's it. And I think Roman wouldn't mind the break at this point in time. He's had a pretty good run. Now, who I'd like to see come in and take the belt off him, maybe, even if it's only for a week or so, would be The Rock, because that's the match that needs to happen. But I'm not so sure it's ever gonna. Yakuza's in the house. Welcome, buddy. Total nonstop action wrestling. Yeah, I'm recording it, so I'll watch it in a little bit. I just want to skip all the commercials and the matches that I'm not such a big fan of. Well, it didn't take long for Morrison to land on his feet, did it? WWE has a way of just screwing up some of the best talent. I mean, Morrison should have been the guy for a while, man. He could have easily stepped into the Shawn Michaels role. Oh, NWA Total Nonstop Action? Wait a minute. That's not a thing, right? It was way back in the day, but they're not going back with NWA, are they? Wouldn't be the worst partnership, I guess, in the world. I just don't know why they'd want to put the NWA name on them. Yeah, I think it looks a lot more like Bunny with the hair. What do you guys think? Approve of the hairstyle change? There ain't no way he's going to hold that belt for another year. No way. I promise you that. By SummerSlam, it's coming off of him. And most likely at SummerSlam. By the way, thank you everybody joining the stream. If you haven't already, take a moment, please help me out. Click the like button down below. Never used to believe in that thing so much, but I can tell you right now, on the videos where we get a lot more participation, we get more clicks and likes and stuff like that, it does get higher ratings. It brings more eyes on the product, so. And it's perfectly free. Rock would put Roman over. I mean, he would. It's not that he would or wouldn't. Yeah, he probably have to. I mean, because we know Rock ain't going to even do like he did last time where he's going to win the belt and hold on to it for a month even and never defend it. His career just doesn't allow him that time. So, if anything, yeah, he'd come back for a match and drop it. And it would make sense anyway. I mean, Roman's, what, 30-something, and Rock is almost 50? Don't get me wrong, looks great for 50, but in a real fight right now between The Rock and Roman Reigns, don't think so. Oh my goodness, I have so much work to do with this because now after this I've got to still go and rebuild all the tag teams. I still have to figure out what other wrestlers I have to download because I know I'm still missing a bunch. Edit. I will say this, I do like Veer Mahan very much. He's got a great look about him. And he has a very strong style of wrestling, too. Just make sure you don't hurt too many people. For real. Yeah, I'd bet my money for sure that Cody Rhodes has the world title at SummerSlam. Unless maybe he wins it before that and then drops it at SummerSlam. But I just don't think... I think if you put it on Cody, he's got to have it for a while. And that doesn't mean that you can't still have a match between Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania. It just won't be for the title, which would be better. Because The Rock can't win the title. So going in, you already know he's not going to win. However, if there's no title on the line, well, now anything's possible. I still think he would definitely put Roman over, but got the shadow of a doubt, and God knows Rock will sell that promo. Will the title loss for Roman lead him to being a face again? He was never a face. To be a babyface, you got to have people cheer for you. They never did. He was booked as a babyface, but he wasn't one. Now, the good thing for him is now he's so over as a heel, and he's found his personality, and he's finally, doing good stuff, that it wouldn't be hard to turn him babyface. But not to Cody Rhodes. Now, maybe, all right, so here we're going to fantasy book real quick. Cody Rhodes wins the title at SummerSlam. Roman is dejected in the ring. The Usos come down with Paul Heyman or what have you, and it's like, you're supposed to be the leader. What's your problem, man? And, piss off, man. I'm not having a good day right now. Next thing you know, the Usos go to town on him for embarrassing the family at the instruction of Paul Heyman. And they leave him laying in the ring after losing his title at SummerSlam. That'll work. Yeah, I'm telling you, Veer's impressed me very quickly. Much like Toa Leona. Just got the size, the moves, just really, really right person, right time, in the right role. Yeah, and Jesco, I mean, The Rock could just as soon come out and cost him the title. That's another option, but I don't think so. I think Cody has to win it clean. And he should. I mean, it's how you justify the amount of money you put into bringing him into the league. All right, we might be ready to move on to getting some more actual talent on the roster. I think everybody's got their appropriate thumbnail now that goes with the name. Kenny J. Darby Cody. Oh, I gotta change his name out again. So once again, nothing has crashed with the exception of El Ordinario. So if you've added him, you may have some trouble. And who knows what that trouble could do to the rest of your game and or roster. That might be the weak link right there for all I know. Very curious to know what's going on with my alerts. Nation alerts. That's on. Workbox theme, no. Well, somehow it's not communicating. I'm not sure why. Okay, well. Is what it is. Alright, we already did all that. We did all that. Alright, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. I want to thank you guys so much for being part of this. I had a good chat. And again, this is part of the charm of 2K is they patch something, they break something, and again, normally it's not an even exchange. You might get something fixed and then have two issues that they'll patch later on, and they'll patch two things and break three things. So I don't know what to tell you guys. They're consistent. You know, for what it's worth, they're consistent. You got to give them that. All right, going to be working offline on getting some more of this stuff done. Like I said, I'm trying to also get my store up and running so I can do the T-shirts and the coffee mugs and mouse pads, and eventually when we get to the cooler weather, pull up some hoodies and stuff like that. I really want to get the 2K shirts out there, though. I feel like we got to run wild with those things. So anyway, hopefully all that soon. And then Monday, the plan right now is 12 noon. We will have a world premiere of Inside the Creator Studio. I'm not going to tell you who we're going to be featuring, but it's somebody you've probably downloaded his work. So until then, I will bid you a fond farewell. I want you guys to take care, be safe as always, and just remember, you're part of the nation. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your night, and I will see you on the flip side. From ringside, this is Vince McSham, I should say, saying so long, everybody, and good night.